Hello friends, for today's video I wanted to go through my 24 for 2024. The idea being these are the 24 stories, whether they be manga, comics, video games, shows, that I am planning to get around to. The majority of these are going to be new to me. There are a few continuations, and I'll go ahead and start with those ones. I'm definitely going to be continuing on with Witch Hat Atelier, Spy Family, Golden Kamui, and Yona of the Dawn. Three of those four, the three that are not Golden Kamui, are ones that I'm caught up with, and so I will be reading the new volumes as they are released. Golden Kamui I'm not yet caught up on. I was hoping to be at the end of 2023, but it's a series that I've mentioned this before, so apologies for repeating myself, but it's a series that I definitely think takes a lot more time and effort as you're reading through it because it's historical, and there truly is so much to learn as you are reading through it, and there's also a lot of different people to keep track of and different motivations to keep track of, all while also trying to just take everything in. It's almost like watching a documentary in some ways. So I'm not caught up with that one, but I will hopefully be able to read them here and there. Another one that I have experience with, but I'm planning to restart and then get all the way through, is Vinland Saga. This is one of my favorites, one of my husband's favorites, and I really want to restart it and then just go through probably one of the bind-ups at the very least every month, if not every other week. And that way we can get caught up and do discussion videos here on the channel, because Vinland Saga is truly amazing and I would like to give it the time it deserves. It's just been so long since I've gotten around to it, so I really feel like starting it again, starting it fresh, will make sure I don't do a disservice to that story. From there, though, so much of the rest of this is new to me, and I'm really excited. I'm going to stick with a lot of manga initially, and then kind of work through some various other forms of storytelling. Attack on Titan. I was really hoping to get around to this in 2023. I did not. And so this is kind of I'm extending this onto my list for 2024. I have been told that this is generally better in its anime form, as it's just such a fantastic visual thing, and obviously manga is visual, but it captures the movement and the motions and the action scenes so much better. And so I've just heard that it's great, and that there are certain characters that I'm going to fall in love with. Fingers crossed that that's true. This is one that I'm really excited to watch alongside my husband. Both of us have been wanting to get around to Attack on Titan. I know it's like a big thing, not just in manga circles. It's one of those that has it's managed to break out of manga bubbles and just become almost mainstream. And I don't know anything about it. I've managed to not see anything, which is actually really exciting. So it'll be very fresh for me. Speaking of very exciting and fresh, this one's not a manga. I know I said I'd stick to manga primarily first, but I have never, ever watched Avatar. Never. Not once in my life have I seen that show. I didn't have cable growing up, which I think this was originally on Nickelodeon. So as a kid, I just had no way of watching it. And as an adult, I've just not ever seen it. And I know there's a new live action coming out. I gotta say, question, I'm very curious your thoughts. Are any of you, even though the live action, I saw the trailer, it looks pretty good, but are any of you tired of getting adaptations of the same things? Like, I'm not trying to bash One Piece, but I'm like, do we need a live action and another animated version of this when the anime is still coming out and there's still manga coming out? And same with like Lord of the Rings. Every time there's a new Lord of the Rings thing announced, I think a lot of us are like, why are we still doing this? So there's just certain things that they keep adapting, and it's just, I'm not upset because I'm like, I'll just say that I think there's so many great stories that have zero adaptations that deserve adaptations. So there is a part of me that's just frustrated to see the same thing being adapted again. And Avatar in particular is kind of irritating to me, even though I have no experience with it. But because it's so well loved already, it's like, why are we touching that? Can you just leave it alone and like let that version of it be the thing that people can share with like the next generation? Like, oh my gosh, you have to see this show. I think there's this idea that when we make things live action, like, oh, we're exposing it to a wider audience. Yeah, if you do a really good job of it, you're exposing a great story to a wider audience, but sometimes all you end up doing is kind of putting a little stain on something that was kind of previously very well regarded, you know? Anyway, it looks solid, and the point is, I've never watched Avatar, so I'm planning to watch Avatar for the first time in 2024. I hope I like it. Moving on, A Silent Voice, another one that was a lot of the manga you'll see were on my 2023 list that are just carrying over. I've wanted to read this for a very long time. I hear it's a really lovely, kind of sad story, but also beautiful. So excited to pick this one up. I think this is very doable. A Bride's Story. The art in this looks phenomenal. I believe this one's more historical. I actually like a lot of historical manga. Like I was mentioning with Golden Kamuy, I got caught up on Vagabond, mentioned Vinland Saga earlier. Historical mangas are often great, and I think this one falls into that camp. So really quite excited to see what we get with that one also. From there, we have Jujutsu Kaisen. I am unsure how I'm going to feel about this one. I love Full Metal Alchemist, but Full Metal Alchemist is like the exception for me when it comes to shonen manga. I am very picky with shonen manga. A lot of the ones that are really well loved, I either have no interest in or don't care for them. So this one's one where I'm like, maybe. And at the very least, I want to try though, because sometimes things surprise you, like Full Metal Alchemist, and I'm always happy to go outside my comfort zone or to push what I expect of my tastes. I'm always excited to give things a try, so I'm going to see with that one. We also have Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind. That's what it's called, right? Nausicaa. Anyway, I have the beautiful big editions of these, and I am very excited to give them a go. I hear this story is whimsical and beautiful, but sad, which doesn't surprise me at all, given who's associated with it. But still, I'm like, oh, I feel like my heart, I'm not sure about it. And it kind of gives me like Final Fantasy, just the look of it. It reminds me, I never finished Final Fantasy 9, but it has like a look about it that just, it seems as though it has this dark, sad, this just tragedy within it, but kind of, it takes you off. It's just, you don't expect it because it's wrapped in this very pretty, whimsical, lovely package. That's what it, and almost like childlike, innocent. That's what I'm trying to say. There's like this innocence to the art. And so I think it kind of takes you aback. That's what I'm thinking, but I'll find that out. From there, I don't know how to pronounce it. I wrote in parentheses, volleyball. I have to look up the pronunciation. I forgot to do that before I started, so I'm so sorry. I'm probably going to not say this right at all, but is it haiku? So my husband's really big into volleyball, and I enjoy volleyball. I'm not as good as him, but it's all the rage with a lot of the people that he plays volleyball with, and it seems like it's going to be fun, so I'm excited to give this one a try. I don't know, we'll see, because I find sports manga aren't necessarily as much my thing, but I think a lot of people really love it, so I am excited to give it a try. Now switching to a comic book, we have Descender. This is Sean, my husband, one of his absolute favorites. And so we already have it because he loves it so much. So I have access to it. And that's one of the reasons why you'll see I don't have as many comics on my list. I didn't get around to near like basically any last year. But also part of it is the accessibility of the comic books. They rarely have physical copies available at the library. So I'm not big into digital. I might have to just get over that and try to get around to reading digitally. But for now, I'm trying to stick to the ones that I know accessibility won't be an issue, and that is true for Descender, and I've heard this is fantastic. Sheriff of Babylon, another one that's one of Sean's favorites that was meant to be read in 2023. My friend Marcus, who popped up on our Castlevania Nocturne chat, and a lot of you really, really liked Marcus, and makes sense because he's so nice and so fun. But Sheriff of Babylon, he loves this one too. So I'm really hopeful that I will also love it. And then maybe we can do a discussion video about that one. From there, I'm kind of cheating. Instead of picking a single one, I just wrote Studio Ghibli. I would like to get through more Studio Ghibli this year and then maybe do some dedicated videos to Studio Ghibli. There are certain ones that I don't think are available on streaming services, and so we have to try to check them out from the library. And we have one of the ones, the Firefly one. We checked that out. Hoping to watch that soon. I've heard it's devastating though, so I'm a little nervous, but I do love a good, well done, tragic, sad, beautiful story. And Studio Ghibli is just, we know, a very well trusted name. From there, we have Arcane Season 2. That's all I really need to say. I'm so excited for Arcane Season 2. Arcane is just the best. It's so good. Also, I played through and beat Final Fantasy 16 in 2023. I know there's some mixed reviews of 2023. There's some mixed reviews of Final Fantasy 16. I loved it. That ending, oh my gosh, it devastated me. I was like depressed the next day, and as it was happening, I was like, what is it doing to me? And I was just very emotional about that ending. That said, what I'm hoping to do is replay the whole game and then play the DLCs, because there's one that's already out, and I think there's another one that's going to come out, and I'm going to wait till the next one is out and then replay the game, hopefully, if I can find the time. I don't know if I can handle watching that ending again, though. Anyway, I'm going to stop making noises at you. Shadow of the Ur Tree, another DLC for Elden Ring. I randomly the other day was just like, I kind of want to play Elden Ring. And I'm pretty sure if I had just randomly decided to actually play Elden Ring, I would have gotten mad really quickly and then been like, I hate this game, and then stopped. But when Shadow of the Ur Tree comes out, I plan to get back into this game, get angry all over again, and have a lot of fun. Black Myth Wukong. So these last couple you definitely saw on my anticipated releases for this year. This, I am hopeful that this will be one of my new all-time favorites. It looks so good, but I mean, we've been burned before, right? A lot of games that we think are going to be great end up sucking. So I'm like, don't suck. That's all I'm asking. Just don't suck. So fingers crossed, Black Myth Wukong is great. It comes out pretty soon, right? I think it comes out way soon. Yes, it does, because when I watched the trailer for it, and I saw the release date, I was like, yeah, and cheering, and my husband's like, what are you doing? But I was like, yes, I'm just so excited because it looks so good. Vox Mackina, my friend Roger, who has been in a couple of our discussion videos, I'm sorry I didn't get around to it in 2023. I do plan to watch this show. I've heard it's so much fun, so Vox Machina. Dead Demons, back to manga. This is by the same person who did Downfall, who did Goodnight Poon Poon, and those are known for just being devastating and just showing the worst of people, and yet Dead Demons is apparently really weird and really funny and quirky. So I hope I like it. From there, I plan to continue with Saga. I want to restart another carryover. Monstrous. I was hoping to do that at the end of last year and I did not, so I'm hoping to restart Monstrous and then read through a bunch of it. And then last, we have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Not sure how I'm going to feel about this one because I feel like the remake has been a little odd in some ways, but hopefully it'll be great. We'll see. But anyway, that's it for my 24 in 2024. There's a few others that I definitely plan to continue on with there. I just didn't put on here because I don't know for sure if I really plan on reading through all of it or if I'll even keep going with it. Maybe at some point I'll DNF it. So for example, something like Ancient Magus' Bride, I plan to pick up more of that. But if at some point it doesn't end up working out and I'm just finding I'm not that into it, then I might put it down. And the reason I didn't put it on this list is because of that very thing. I might put it down. These are ones that I really think for the most part I'm going to push through and I'm going to read a bunch of. So fingers crossed that is true for. But anyway, like I said, that's it for some 2024 anticipated reads. I'm really excited. And I guess like shows and stuff, watches. Let me know what you're planning to get around to in 2024. I hope you have a great rest of your day and I'll see you later. Bye.